Call the meeting to order. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Here.
Trustee Katsinas.
Here.
Trustee Milani.
Here.
Trustee Compass.
Here.
Trustee Reardon.
Here.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Here.
Mayor Peacock.
Here.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the November 6, 2023 Committee of the Whole minutes.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Committee of the Whole of November 6, 2023.
Second. Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Peacock.
Aye.
Employee health insurance renewal, fiscal year 2024.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I move to recommend to the village board to approve the employee medical annual premium in the amount of $5,855,766, a 17.60% or $876,522 increase. The employee ancillary spend in the amount of $484,465, a $23,589 increase, which is a 7.44% increase in dental, 0% increase in vision, disability, admin, and core life, and AD&D. The Health Joy investment costs in 2024 for an amount $39,070, for a total premium increase including Health Joy in the amount of $939,181, and adjusting employee contribution equivalent to the increase in premium cost effective January 1st, 2024.
Second.
Well, thank you for the update and thank you for the details behind this. We didn't have it the last time in time to really review it. We don't need to see the presentation again. We got to see that once already. Did anybody have any additional questions now that we have all the details we didn't have the last time in the write-up? The only thing I'll add is, obviously this pretty high increase, which we know is due to our, our experience and, what happened and everything else. As a staff and Horton, we need to be, and I know we do this, but we need to be taking every step we can to keep this under control because, as the staff knows, what's the number we're looking for salary and benefits? Everybody? 3%. See, everybody knows what we need for long-term fiscal health in the village, and we just can't, so we can't absorb these things in any kind of regular basis. We've got to kind of keep them 3% and under, or else we're going to have to make some other really hard decisions. So, so just keep that in mind for the future and keep doing. I know we're trying. I know this was a lot of it was out of COVID, people not going to get checkups and things like that. So a lot of these things were higher cost than what they would normally be. So I encourage our employees too to get out there and get all the well checks and get all the things that that the health insurance pays for. I know for me personally, as most of you know, I'm adopted, so I have no health history, and my wife has insurance through her school, which is very good. And so I've gone and gotten the stress tests, and I've gone and gotten all of those things, which, fortunately they haven't found anything, but at least if they had, they would have found it early, and I'd have some idea what was going on. So I encourage people to take advantage of all those things because it's way cheaper in the long run. It's way better for you in the long run, too. So call the roll.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Milani.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski.
Aye.
Mayor Peacock.
Aye.
Property and casualty insurance renewal.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Reardon.
I move to recommend to the village board to approve the liability insurance for property in the amount of $280,019 and $16,060 increase. I'm sorry, a $16,060 increase. Public entity package in the amount of $232,957, a $17,445 increase. Auto liability in the amount of $77,512, a $7,225 increase. Excess liability in the amount of $452,174, a $119,000, $531 increase. Cyber liability in the amount of $26,265, a $765 increase effective December 1st, 2023. And to approve the excess workers' compensation in the amount of $198,540, a $21,843 increase. Crime policy in the amount of $4,502, an $8,188 decrease. drone policy in the amount of $16,532, a $1,152 increase, pollution policy in the amount of $2,415, a $67 increase, effective January 1st, 2024, and approve the Horton Group annual brokerage fee in the amount of $35,000.
Second.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Healy?
could I ask a question of the insurance
Sure.
people? One of the things that my experience has been is that in my work, we've seen good insurance companies and bad insurance companies or brokerages, and it's seeing the large increase in the workman's compensation thing. I just hope that our experience factor is low and that we're aggressively pursuing these claims to keep their rate low, I guess. And is there I believe, Horton has a good reputation, I think, for keeping those claims lower in the past, and I just hope that that continues. Can you, address that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. My name is Tony Evans. I'm with the Horton Group, and I lead the property casualty practice for a public entity within Horton. So specific to workers' comp, I'll hit in a second, but we did complete a full marketing exercise and went out far beyond what we have just in front of you here today. You're actually part of ICRMT, which is a pool, a trust, and there's about 450 public entities within the state of Illinois in that. Likewise, your workers' compensation is also with a pool. They're one of the few carriers that are willing and able to write police and fire. In your case, it would only be police. However, you also have a large retention of $500,000 any one claim. So really the experience mod doesn't have as much to do with it. It's more out-of-pocket expenses that you have. And it's a big challenge. I was just talking today with a colleague, a rotator cuff surgery 8 years ago was $30,000. Now it's all in $90,000. So the accidents or the injuries are essentially the same, but it's up threefold. So what we are doing is every quarter for every open claims with your HR team here, we do have periodic meetings to just review what the open claims are, how to better manage it. Do they have an attorney? Are they going for independent medical exams? What's the next step on these things? So to answer your question, I think in a difficult state, meaning Illinois, from a workers' comp standpoint, we're doing what we can to make sure we stay on top of those.
If I could ask a second question are the deductibles the same among most municipalities?
No. And it's anywhere between $750,000, any one claim, all the way down to zero. But that's about the highest, maybe $1 million for some of the larger cities in the area.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Mayor? On that same point, if you have a higher deductible, you have a less of a fee? I mean, is there a shifting of how expensive it is if you have a much higher deductible?
Oh, far less. And so the village is responsible for the first $500,000 any one claim, and your premium is a fraction of what it would be on what we call a first dollar basis. Okay. Or even if the claim was $50,000. So it's far, far less. I'm taking a guess, it might be 5 to 8 times on what you'd be getting.
Right, and I understand that, is to make sure that that's what's happening.
And to follow up on.
I have a follow-up. I think it might be the same thing you're asking. Do we, as a village, because of our experience, we pay a different amount than maybe some other village that has a different, history or experience or different risks based on their police force or their administration and their, risk analysis?
Yeah, you do. And so experience, there are a couple of benchmarks that the carriers look for when we market your program. So how are you a better risk now than you were 12 months ago? Look at your cyber, look at your policies and procedures for police chases, or even something as simple as back to work for someone who was injured as a member of your of the, let's say, the highway group. That's, what they do is dangerous, but getting them back up to work is as quickly as possible. You all do a wonderful job of that. There are clients that I have that don't do it as good a job, and they're paying far more from a rate standpoint.
Last follow-up, struck me as the excess, a significant increase in the excess. Is that get a little further away from being able to just look at what Orland does? Do the excess carriers look at the pool a little more and say, look, we had some severe claims, some $1 million, $2 million, $3 million claim, so I've got, everyone in the pool is now going to have a higher excess, or do we still get just judged on kind of ourselves?
Well, that's a good question. If you're in Cook County, or parts of you are in Cook County, most of my clients carry at least $15 million, which is what you carry. And I can tell you, over the last several years, think about what's happened in the law enforcement community, the number of civil rights violations. So it's not only if someone's found guilty, the amount of legal fees that are paid for these claims. So that is an issue not just facing the likes of Orland Park, but it's these police forces that are in cities that are getting crushed with these numbers. So it's that, auto, and probably sexual abuse, molestation that are driving those numbers to be up. Now, I will say individually, 10 years ago, there were probably 20, 25 carriers that are willing to write in Cook County. Now there's maybe 8 or 10. No one wants to do it because of the high verdicts that the county has a history of awarding.
I mean, this is basically the same discussions we sometimes have in that back room as we're in Cook County, and, something that anywhere else in the country would be, kicked out of court. We're ending up in court and potentially a high jury award. And another benefit of being in Cook County.
That's exactly right.
Another question, and this was where I was going with the deductible. Is there another level of deductible we could go to that would reduce, and what would the impact on our overall cost be with that?
The group you're with now is unique because it's across all exposures. IPRF is willing to do or able to write the $500,000 retention. There are other groups. Safety National is one that a number of my other clients have, but their minimum for police, law enforcement, is $750,000. And it's a fine line between getting blindsided for some sort of claim that you didn't expect, or you can even say, let's say there was a car accident with 3 employees on there, in there. So that's something that we always, from a balance sheet protection standpoint, I want to make sure not to go too high. I talk about risk tolerance, and we also do an analysis in terms of what's the best level of where that should be. I think the group here is very comfortable at being $500,000. The lower you go, it would be far more expensive.
Yeah, I'm not talking about going lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you were to go higher, and we did go out to market, there are other expenses associated with that too. IPRF doesn't charge you for third-party administration. The carrier that you had previously does, and that can be a big number too. So even though you might be at $750,000 for a loss, there are several other fees that are that you'd be responsible for. Okay. I really believe that IPRF is the best available in the marketplace for the village at $500,000.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Compass.
I'd just like to thank the Horton representatives for being here with us the second night. As you can probably tell, this board very much likes to have the time to get into the details, but that also reflects in our appreciation that you have for the details. So thank you for being here and for being a great partner.
No, thank you very much.
Thanks. Call the roll.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski. Aye. Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Any non-scheduled citizens or visitors? Seeing none.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Compass.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Reardon.
Aye.
Trustee Radiszewski. Aye. Mayor Pico.
Aye. Adjourned.